Over the last 4 years, I've advised over 18 million in ad spend for Facebook ads. And these are the things you need to know to get with Facebook ads, more sales, more conversions, and scale your business to 8 figures and beyond. I'll first go over the media buying side of things and then over the creative side of things. And I'll keep the lessons as concise as possible so that you have a general guide of what you should focus on and what mistakes that I did myself you should avoid to get to the point where you want faster. So the first thing is using broad audiences. For a very long time, I really didn't understand how broad audiences work. I thought that if I just leave the targeting settings broad, Facebook will go ahead and show every single Instagram user and Facebook user in the US our ad. And this is what I thought is happening. But that's way further from the truth than I could imagine. The truth is that the targeting settings that you set on the ad set level do decide what kind of pool of people Facebook chooses from in the beginning to start testing the ad. That means if you're, for example, targeting the US and just leave the audience broad or Advantage Plus, then technically, yes, Facebook could go ahead and target every single person within that audience, like everyone who uses Instagram and Facebook in the US. But what actually happens is that every single ad finds its own ideal audience. You can think of it like an organic post. For example, if you post organically, of course, you don't set any targeting settings, no interests, no lookalikes, nothing, but still the post reaches the right people that are actually interested in it. And this is the exact same way broad targeting works. If you set specific interest audiences, then that just means that you limit the pool where Facebook starts optimizing in. And you might be thinking, okay, well, I don't need to test for a broad audience. My product is not for everyone. But this is not exactly how it works. In the past, it was right. Interest targeting had its place. But since the iOS privacy updates, that was now many years ago, but some people still haven't caught up to this, those interest groups are rather inaccurate. And if you want to give Facebook the best chance of performance, you actually should leave the targeting broad or Advantage Plus and just let it find the people that will convert most likely from the ad that you're actually launching. Number 2, catalog ads. After starting working in the Facebook ad space for quite a long time, I didn't really understand the appeal or the role of catalog ads, because technically what you're doing is you just connect your Shopify catalog to Facebook, and then all the products that are on Shopify, they can be shown as a catalog just with the product image and some pricing. So it's very straightforward. It's almost like an anti-ad because there's no copy whatsoever. You immediately say what the price is. And if you think about it, it sounds just like a bad idea to advertise like that, because usually you want people first to understand your product, channel their desire for your product, to tell them all the benefits, and then tell them the price. So basically justify the price up front. But the thing is that catalog campaigns actually usually don't scale in a top of funnel audience. They don't go to a cold audience. The way it works is that if someone clicks on your ad and checks out your website and finds a certain product and is on the product page of that product, and then they go away and don't buy, then the catalog will appear mostly as a retargeting ad and show them in the catalog, because it's like a carousel that you can scroll through, show them in the catalog the exact product that they were visiting the product page of. So it's a very effective retargeting ad that just says, hey, I still exist. And this is especially powerful for jewelry brands, fashion brands, or whatever else that has many SKUs. Just so you can see how it works is, here's a retargeting catalog campaign, and I actually didn't set any retargeting audience there. It retargets by itself with a broad audience because it knows who will convert from these kind of ads. And you can see that the frequency here is noticeably higher than on this campaign where we just go after a cold audience. That's how they work, and you can also see they perform quite well. Now, number 3, the power of whitelisted ads. For the first years, honestly, I didn't even know what it means to run whitelisted ads. But basically, when you set up your ads, you can choose the brand identity that you're running the ads from. Basically the Facebook account or the Instagram account that is linked to the ads. Well, guess what? Most people are used to see advertisement from brands, and as soon as they see like a little brand logo there, they already know, okay, that's an ad, and they scroll. Now, what whitelisting does is that you can get access to run your ads from a different identity. For example, it's very common that brands go ahead and reach out to an influencer, like a big Instagram account, or maybe even a niche Instagram account in their market, in their niche, someone who ideally has even some authority within your audience, and they set up a deal that they can run ads through their account. In combination with them actually talking in your ads and running it from their account, you will see that your best scripts, your best ads will perform much better, because this is just way more organic, it's way more trustworthy, and even if people don't know the influencer or like the creator account that you're running the ads from, this just seems way more genuine, and this is why the exact same ads often perform just better if you run them whitelisted. What's also really funny is that if you can't afford to pay like big influencers to run ads from their account, you can literally just go ahead and create a Facebook page. And let's say you sell beauty products, then you can name the Facebook page like Karen's Beauty World or Karen's Beauty Tips or whatever you want to call it. Have actually a realistic image of a woman, someone who looks like your persona, as the profile picture of the Facebook page. And then you just kind of whitelist for yourself. The person doesn't have to exist, but even if we do that, we often see that, hey, it actually performs better just because we're not running from a brand account, but it looks like a person-to-person recommendation. So now coming to the fourth and last point about the media buying structure and media buying tricks. For the first 1 to 1.5 years of my journey, I was over-focused on the ad account structure. I thought, okay, I have ads. Now I need to deliver those ads to the right audience. If they see my ads, they will convert. If I see a bad ROAS, I'm like, okay, something must be wrong, right? The targeting must be wrong, or some ad account setting must be wrong. Maybe I should try run on ABO or cost controls or some other fancy feature. Well, but the truth is I was just so uneducated and even ignorant of the fact that the ad creatives that I prepared actually sucked. And it's not like it didn't convert because I messed up some setting, but either because the product was just not interesting and they were competitors selling a much better product, or the ad creatives really just sucked because I wasn't aware of essential fundamentals like market awareness, market sophistication, how to align messaging based on the awareness and sophistication of the market, how to structure a strong script, how to write a strong headline or hook, and so on. Because if you do this right, your ad creatives will perform in almost any ad account structure. Now, if you're still concerned about the ad account structure, I have a video here that explains a very good up-to-date ad account structure that you can run. But once you do that, you should really stop playing around with media buying and focusing on that, because this is not the performance driver of your brand. The performance driver is the ad creative. And no targeting setting, no ABO, no CBO, no Advantage Plus, no bid cap will save you. It's about having the best product in your market, having the best offer in your market, and having really good ad creatives. So what I really recommend to you is focus on the ad creative. Media buying is a skill, but once you run ads, you run ads. There isn't much more to learn. But for the ad creative, the potential upside and the potential skill level is almost infinite. So better you start learning and investing into this right away. The next thing to focus on creative-wise is unaware ads. And for that, you have to understand the 5 awareness stages of the market. To go really quick over it, basically you have unaware people, problem-aware people, solution-aware people, product-aware people, and aware people. Aware people know your product, your brand, and they're interested to buy. They just wait for a good offer or a reminder to buy. They are easiest to sell to. Product-aware means they already know about your product, about competitor products. They just want to see what makes most sense to buy. Solution-aware means they have a problem, they know there's a solution to it, but there are different solutions. For example, if you have a protein deficit, you could just take a supplement, but you also could just eat more meat. Those are different solutions, and they haven't decided yet what they want to go for. If a person is problem aware, they know that they have a problem, but they don't know how to solve it. For example, they know that they go to the gym, but their muscles don't grow, and they don't even know that they need more protein. And an unaware person doesn't even know they have a problem. So you can imagine that it's way harder to sell to the unaware person than to the most aware person. But the truth is that the vast majority of your ideal customers are unaware. So they don't even realize they have a problem, and you sell the solution, but they don't want it whatsoever because they don't think they have a problem. So you first need to make them aware that they have a problem. And once you do that, you have a much bigger market that you can sell to and scale it. And this is why unaware ads that get someone from unaware to most aware and then to buying from you is super scalable and super strong. At the same time, it's hardest to master them. If you want an in-depth guide on how to actually do that, let me know in the comments. I might take a video about it. But in general, you want to kind of hide that you are running an ad and first increase the awareness level. For example, let's take again the example of someone who's working out and they don't have enough protein and they don't grow much muscle because of that, but they don't even realize it because maybe they just started working out. They are working out for 1 month or 2 months and they just think it takes more time and they have no clue about protein or biology whatsoever. If you want to make an unaware ad for this kind of person, the hook of the ad would obviously not go into why your protein powder is the best or that they need protein powder, but it would start like, how many days a week should you go to the gym to build your dream body within 1 year? Then it could continue like, well, scientists actually found that it doesn't matter much if you go 3 times per week, 4 times or 5 times per week if you're just starting out. In fact, what's way more important is actually if you give your body enough resources to grow those muscles. Something like that, you get the point. You target the audience with a hook that gets the right audience, but then you increase their awareness level and keep the curiosity and explain that they have a problem, and then you sell the solution. So yeah, super important point. Unaware ads, if you crush them, you will scale way more than you could have imagined. If you're running a product aware ad and it's spending like, let's say 2K per day, well, an unaware ad might be spending 10 or 20K per day, just so you have some comparison. The next point I want to talk about is creative hierarchy. And this is something that many people really don't understand, especially if they are not advertising for years. What you're testing in your ad can have different impact levels. For example, testing a different desire that your product fulfills will always have much stronger impact than the rephrase of the headline or even the change of persona. What you want to test, especially when you start testing, is test different desires that your product fulfills. For example, let's take protein powder again. You could frame it as something that helps you being more confident because it helps you building the physique you want. You could also sell it to people who have the desire of working out and building muscle not for their own confidence, but because they want to get girls, and other desires that the people who buy your product might have. This becomes clear in your market research. Then for each desire, your product will have different features and benefits that fulfill that desire, and each persona you're selling to will decide the way of communication. For example, let's say we have someone who trains to attract their partner for life. Well, it could be a guy or it could be a girl, and then the physique and aesthetic that they want to build is of course severely different, and the angle and everything in your ad will of course change and depend on what kind of persona you target. So when you start out testing, you really want to see, okay, what desire resonates the most. After that, you want to see, okay, what persona resonates the most, then what kind of angle, then what kind of visual, what kind of text, and so on. And the further down you go in the hierarchy, the less impact it will actually have. And this is good advice not only for new brands, but also for brands that have 6 or 7 figure months. Because what often happens is that these brands go down the path that is most profitable, but they at some point get to a cap and they don't manage to scale further within that market. Well, then the next move is to actually go up in the hierarchy again and test the second best persona or the third best persona and target the second best desire, and so on. This is how you can add on market segments and scale even further. And testing this strategically is what only very few top brands are doing. But if you do it, you will exactly know what works, you will exactly know why, and you can double down on it and scale. Another thing that is extremely important and will actually decide how fast you scale and how many winning ads you find is your internal feedback loop. Once you have tested an ad, it's not enough to just look at it and see, okay, well, this is a winning ad, we targeted this kind of person, this kind of desire, let's do the same again. Many brands just do that. What you instead want to do is literally analyze every single ad that you test. You want to analyze losers, you want to analyze winners, you want to build hypotheses about why they are losers and why they are winners. For example, okay, this is a winner, why? Okay, it has a high hook rate, why? Okay, actually in the hook we showed a girl for the first time, which is attractive for the male audience that we're advertising to. Aha. Well, then we take this winning element and replicate it for future hooks. The same thing goes for losing ads. This is a losing ad. Okay, why? It has a terrible click-through rate. Okay, why? Look at the hook. The hook rate is 40%. Okay. Look at the hold. Okay, that's actually also fine. It's like around 8%. Might be higher, but it's okay. But the click-through rate is just 0.2%. Why? Okay, in this ad we tested this desire for the first time and actually nobody really resonated with it. So probably it's the desire. Let's retest this format because the hook rate and the hold rate and everything was actually good, but let's test it with another desire and see if it's actually the desire that is in misalignment. And this way you might find a new winning ad, and if you find a new winning ad, your hypothesis is proven valid, which means, okay, that desire, we don't target that anymore. I've worked with dozens and dozens of brands and almost like nobody has this structured thinking. Many 7-figure brands almost get there by accident, by finding something that works without even knowing exactly why. So if you know exactly why something works and why not, you will get there so much faster. Now if you say that's all good, but I don't have the time to invest years to actually learn and master the skill, this is exactly what I help e-com brands with. If you're interested in working together, click the first link in the description. Keep scaling. Bye.